Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you a few articles that just hit this morning. Now, this first one that you're looking at is from Newsmax. And the world usually give an approval rating to a president. Now, when Obama was in office, his approval rating in the world was 48. Okay. Trump's approval rating in the world is a low of 30%. Okay. So a lot of people in this world are now looking at America in a whole different way because of the election of Trump. You're losing a lot of credibility in this world. So now world leadership also have a low confidence in Trump. This is another article that came out in The Guardian. Okay. World's confident in US leadership under Trump at a new low. And it goes over, how world leaders feel like they are having a hard time communicating with Trump. And many of them have already given up on even interacting with Trump at this point. Okay, many of them, this is why Angela Merkel had made that comment about Europe has to go it alone. We can't rely on America anymore. Now, I want to show you this article. This article came out on NPR, and I will leave the link to all three of these articles, by the way, in the description box. This article just came out on NPR, January 18th, 2018. Majority of Americans see Trump's first year as a failure. I am not surprised. Trump approaches the first year anniversary of his inauguration. A majority of Americans think his first year in office has been a failure and that he's divided the nation. America's never been a united nation. You don't live up to your name at all. Never have. A new NPR PBS NewsHour poll finds that 53 to 40% margin, Americans deem Trump's first year a failure. And by almost 2-to-1 margin, 61 to 32%, Americans said they believe Trump has divided the country since his election. Americans gave Trump relatively positive marks on his handling of ISIS and the state of the economy. No small things, but on just about every other issue, they disapprove of his handling of them, and they think things have gotten worse. From their views of the tax plan to the state of the race relations and women's rights to immigration, healthcare, and the deficit in foreign policy, including his approach to North Korea. 7 in 10 Americans are now concerned about the possibility of war breaking out with the rogue nuclear nation. With Trump, you can best believe the wars are coming. The first year's grade for Trump are not good, says Lee Maringoff, director of the Martis Institute for Public Opinion. So are we surprised? No. Okay, so it's saying the majority are disapproving of Trump's job that he's doing, or we can say not job because this man don't work. Okay, just understand, Trump does not work. This is why he took off, I believe, what, 118 days off since he's been the president? 118 days off, y'all, since taking office. Trump has been on the golf course and vacationing more than he has been running this country. And when he's there, he don't do any work. So if we can just get him to sit down and do some work, that in itself would be something. So 53% think the country is headed in the wrong direction. 57% overwhelmingly believe his policies are directed towards helping the wealthy. Well, most presidents are, that is not a big deal. Most presidents usually cater to the wealthy once they're in there. 60% has to oppose to the middle class 25% and see his use of Twitter as a risky way to communicate 78% that isn't sending the right message. First of all, he has no business being on Twitter. I mean, it's just so inappropriate on many levels for a president of a country to spend time on a daily basis. He's on Twitter every single day. He's got more loyalty to being on Twitter than he does in running this country. Trump still enjoys loyal support from his core and unwavering base, the high IQ ones, but not many others. He's slipped with independents, for example, a group he won in 2016, and none of that bodes well for Republicans in this year's midterms. And they're losing pretty badly in the midterms, the Republicans are. Nearly half of Americans, 46%, said Trump's presidency had fallen below their expectations. Well, I didn't expect nothing big from Trump. Look, y'all. Now, I know in this country, they measure your success by money. But see, many of these people are trust fund babies. They haven't had a working day occur in their entire life. And it just goes to show you that money does not mean you have the ability to do things. And me, when I look at rich people, I think they are least likely to do things. But y'all, have this money thing going on in your head. You think they're more likely. They're not. They're not. Okay, America's declining. Whether some of y'all want to admit it or not, it really is. It's on the decline. This country is not even what it used to be 20 years ago. All right, so let's get back to the article. Trump's presidency had fallen below their expectations. The third said that he had met their expectation, while just 15% said he had exceeded them. Wow, 15%, huh? A third of Americans said Trump's first year was a major failure. Just 15% described it as a major success. Wow, that's not saying much. That is not saying much. So that means 85% of the country is not satisfied, unhappy. Notably, half of independents called Trump's first year in office a failure, including 30% plurality who said it was a major failure. Okay, so you can see it right here. 15% said they are satisfied. 34% met expectations, 46% fell below, and I don't see how anybody is unsure. I tell you what, if you are unsure about the job that Trump is doing, I wouldn't come to you for advice. You don't sound very stable up here. Okay. And then Trump's first year, wow, those polls are not looking good. So He's historically low for the first year. Usually presidents, they stay at a relatively good level as far as approval rating their first year. But Trump, I don't even think over the last few months he has broken out of the 30% um, area since he's been in office. Wow. Trump's approval rating also remains low, with just 37% approving of the job he's doing as president overall, 39% strongly disapprove. Those numbers are virtually unchanged from the past several months. Yeah, because every time I've seen it, it's like 35%, 34%. Those are numbers that I've seen. As Trump base remain in his corner, 85% of Republicans approve of the job he's doing, along with 90% of Trump supporters. But again, problems with independents show up for Trump. Just 38% of them approve of his job performance. Americans overall are pessimistic about the general direction of the country under Trump. 42% said the country has changed for the worse. I'm one of them under his president, um, under this president, and just 36% said it has changed for the better, and 21% said they've seen no real change at all. All right, so you can see direction the country's in, and the vast majority, 59%, said it's going in the wrong direction. Um, wow. I'm not surprised. I mean, what has Trump done to deserve good approval ratings? Okay, nothing. Nothing. It's a damn shame that he won't stay out of the media. You know, if he was smart, he would lay low. And these are his ratings on the recent issues. This is the deficit. The green is approved, the gray is unsure, and the disapprove is in the orange. Okay. And this is the deficit. And you see overall Democrats, Republicans, independents, and healthcare. You can also see it's mostly disapproves. Immigration, ISIS, he's doing a little better in that area. North Korea, definitely, he's doing lousy with that. Trade, it's okay, but it really should be a lot better as far as trade is concerned. So I will leave the link to this article in the description box, y'all. And oh, here's race relations, which we know he's doing bad, but according to the Republicans, they're not 48% not sure. That tells me you're blatantly not seeing what Trump's doing. So I consider your opinions totally irrelevant from this point on, because if you are unsure after you've heard all this stuff, then that tells me I don't need to pay attention to your opinion. So here's Trump on race relations, which he's doing very badly in the country on. And women rights, he's actually doing better on that than he's doing on race relations. So, yeah, it's just the usual stuff that we are hearing. And Trump, I tell you what, if he had good handlers, they would do everything they can to keep him off of Twitter and out of the media. But since they can't control him, you can count on more disasters from Trump. This man, no, I never seen a person sink themselves faster than Trump. Trump, you just stand back. He will do all the damage all on his own. Don't worry about him. Nobody is going to bring Trump down faster than Trump. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell twice, and also join me over on Black Junction TV and blackspot.com. Peace, family.